Hi everyone, I'm Anvi Arora. We are honored to have with us today veteran Wing Commander Anupama Joshi, who has a flourishing career in Indian Air Force. A woman who doesn't have the word impossible in her career because she's commander by birth. Hello ma'am, how are you?
Good afternoon. Very good. Such a
Hap-
pleasure to meet you, Anvi.
same here ma'am. First of all, happy Women's Day.
Wish you the same.
Thank you ma'am. Ma'am, first of all, I want to know what inspires you to go in Indian Air Force?
So, actually, what had happened that we were inducted in 1992, so it's quite an old story. But when I joined Air Force, there was no women in the armed forces. There was no career for women to be in the armed forces. So there was nothing like that you're dreaming to become a part of military, because that was not a choice. But while I was doing my college, the Indian Air Force advertised that become the pioneer and become the first women, as the government opens its door for women to wear wear the uniform. And there was a lovely picture of they had curated one advertisement. And suddenly it struck me, oh god, we never thought that we could be part of the military. And it was something like, to be part of a uniformed force, to be part of somebody you can serve the nation, is, I think, is a privilege. And when the thought came, there was no looking back, as they say.
So, secondly, I want to know your most challenging aspects of your training.
So training in Air Force Academy was for 1 year complete, and challenging, I would say, because I was more academically inclined. I was doing my MPhil at JNU. From there, I suddenly shifted to Air Force Academy. JNU is a very free kind of a place where it's very liberal, and suddenly Academy was very stringent. So everything has to be in on time. Everything has to be in order. You know how military training is. So getting up at 4 in the morning, going for health run, then going for parade, changing. There was no time. So I think physically it was very exhausting. I would not say mentally as much as physically it was exhausting, because at that point of time we were in college, and we were not as young to uh, like not in school, or we were not used to having so much of physical training. So I think that, and one camp we have in that you have to pass through a camp, which is it's called a night route march. You start marching at when the sun goes down, and you march till the time the sun comes up.
Whole
So
night.
the whole night you're walking, and without torch, without any light, you have to. It's on a moonlight. You're supposed to march, and you're given a gun. You're supposed to take care of your weapon, and there's just a small bottle of water which is hanging. So ab pura time when you're marching, that's all you have, and there is a route given. You have to follow the route and reach there in darkness. So we thought, oh my god, how will this ever be accomplished? But as they say, when you set out, and it was not only me, the whole course of us, we accomplished it with the challenge. So I found that very challenging. Yeah.
सो आप जब रात के टाइम जाते थे, आप जैसे बता रहे हो ट्रेनिंग के लिए जाते थे, तो आपको रात को डर नहीं लगता था? काइंड ऑफ मतलब जैसे होता है कि अकेले जाना है या कुछ भी.
So honestly it was like a group march होता है, एक लाइन में आप लोग सब जा रहे हैं. तो सांप से थोड़ा लगता था कि रात के अंधेरे में कोई एनिमल नहीं आ जाए, क्योंकि जंगल में मार्च कर रहे हो आप और घंटों तक कर रहे हैं. और कोई लोग होते तो रास्ते में जोक मारेंगे, तो लगता था कि यार let's move forward. There's no time to. And once what happened was, there is that gun you have. Over the gun there is a leather thing which is called as scabbards, and you're supposed to carry the whole weapon with you. So one of our बैच गर्ल्स, उसका वो स्कबर्ड जो है ना झाड़ी में फंस गया, और जब वो चली तो वो निकल के फंस गया. थोड़े आगे जाके उसने देखा कि उसको तो है ही नहीं. सो अब रात में अंधेरे में वापस जाके उसको ढूंढना, क्योंकि अगर हमारे पास अगर वो उसका मिसिंग होगा तो वो आपकी पूरी रूट मार्च कैंसिल हो जाएगी, फिर आपको करनी पड़ेगी. तो हम वापस गए उसी रास्ते में, क्योंकि सिर्फ मूनलाइट होती है, उसी में आपको मैनेज करना था। और आई थिंक हम सब प्रे कर रहे थे कि भगवान किसी तरह से मिल जाए, क्योंकि इट वाज समथिंग इम्पॉसिबल कि उस अंधेरे की झाड़ियों में उसको ढूंढना। पर हम लकीली किस्मत अच्छी थी कि वी फाउंड इट एंड वी कंटिन्यूड द मार्च।
इफ अगर पानी वगैरह का जैसे होता था कि मतलब पानी खत्म हो गया या कुछ भी रिफिल का गया,
there was no question of refill, that was the only water you had, so you have to learn how to survive in that. So आप एक sip, जब भी आपको प्यास लग रही है, so you'll have a sip and then walk, then have a sip and walk, so you know that only this much is left and इतना time बचा है, so you have to manage that much. That is basically a training to, if you're caught in a situation where you know there's a difficulty of surviving, or so how will you survive in the bare minimum.
करियर में ऐसा कभी आपके पास ऐसा टाइम आया था जब आपने सोचा कि बस अब नहीं हो रहा है या गिव अप कर देना चाहिए या कुछ भी?
Never. I never felt that at all. It's like the whole journey of mine starts with the fact that I kept fighting for the rights of women. I kept fighting for rights of women to get a place in armed forces. So अगर मैं ही छोड़ देती तो आगे कैसे बढ़ते? But I never ever felt that.
Whatever first flight you aircraft.
So when we were inducted, women were not allowed to fly. So they came into flying much later. So that's what I was saying, that we were like inducted as an experimental people, and then they thought that if women can sustain this, then subsequently women will come into multiple roles and multiple branches later on.
What was your experience for it?
I think if I was to live again, I would want to relive it again, as I can say that.
Nice. Can you share your bestest part of your journey?
In Air Force? So I'll say two things. Military is kind of teaches you a lot of camaraderie. You make the bestest of friends there because you are thrown in adversities. आप लोगों को इस तरह से, आप एक कैंप में रह रहे हो, आप एक यूनिट में रह रहे हो, you are disconnected from the world outside. So एक sense of belonging बहुत ज़्यादा होता है military में. You know, the people you associate with, they become friends of life. They become your family. आप सोच नहीं सकते कि the kind of bonding you have. So it is nothing to do with Air Force per se, but all military would say that the life and the lifestyle in military is something no money can buy you that, you know. So आप सुबह शाम तक पसीना बहाओ और शाम को you are like, you know, the bonding that you have. So I would say that is the highlight of a life in military. Second is that I would personally feel that professional satisfaction is that it gives you such a platform that, you know, you can exhibit your talent. So it is it is not only related to your office work hours. So we have social life, we have, you know, we have talent nights, etc. and all that. So there is so much other things which is happening around within the campus that you can participate in that. So you're not going into a straight-jacketed role. Your family is looked after well. Your children have a good campus life. So I think I feel that the wholesome life is what you get out of military.
Are you still connected with
Of
them?
course, everybody's. My bestest of friends are from armed forces, and I was telling somebody that you will not believe, my ex-boss celebrated his 80th birthday, and I flew down from here to Kochi to celebrate his birthday. That is the kind of relation I have, despite of the fact that he was my boss 25 years back, but I still went to celebrate his 80th birthday.
How you handle you and your team in stress and high peak situations and all?
So that's what the training is all about, that, you know, no matter what. So military में एक saying है, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. मतलब अगर आप training अच्छे से करो, which I was telling you also, that you have to start making the foundation. So when your foundation is well done, you are trained well, and you are given situations to handle, then it is called indoctrination. It comes naturally to you to manage your team, and while you're inducted in, the selection process also sees your ability to lead, your ability to be a team player. So there are a lot of people who feel that military में लोग वही जाते हैं जो exceptionally leaders होते हैं. ज़रूरी नहीं. So the most biggest attribute they look at you while they select you in the military is, are you a team player? So that's like kind of inbuilt in some people, and that's how you get selected, and it just kind of helps you managing your team.
So what was your thought when you fought for women empowerment for permanent commission?
So the thought was very simple, that I needed to fight for the rights for the women, because women were inducted in the armed forces, but they did not have equal opportunity in terms of continuing in service, having actual equal courses, promotion possibilities, etc. So this whole thing, the ख्याल मुझे हरदम आता था कि क्यों नहीं मुझे, because if I am serving as equally well as a man is, so why my position should be compromised, and I should not have a permanent place in the forces, and why should a man, just because of my gender? ऐसा तो नहीं था कि मेरी efficiency कम थी या I was not able to perform. So basically it was a fight for your rights.
So one message for the aspirants to join the Indian Armed Forces.
So if I would say that अगर आप में जोश है और जज्बा है, so there is nothing like serving the armed forces. It's an excellent career, and because it's an International Women's Day, I would say that especially for the women, because of two things: that it is a very good profession, and it is a safe place for women to work. The kind of izzat, the kind of place you get in armed forces, I haven't seen, because I have had multiple careers post the armed forces. I feel that's the best place to serve. It's a place where you can get your professional satisfaction, personal satisfaction. It's a place it's an organization which looks after you. It looks after your welfare. So if you're an aspirant for the armed forces, there is nothing like it, because if you have it in you, this is the best place to work. And Desh Prem se zyada prem koi nahi.
Thank you for inspiration, and thank you for visiting. Please come again.
It's entirely my pleasure, and Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.